So, I smoked a good one the other day. I smoked a nice hybrid. I was chilling in my giant beanbag, and I was just thinking, I was just thinking about the space, the space race back in the day, when putting a man on the moon. And I was thinking, we really don't got much use for space right now. I know we're trying to get the Mars thing going, and it's a long ways away. I don't see it really being productive. I don't know. I think we gotta take care of ourselves here first. But thinking, to get there, we gotta get some more buzz around space and like just sending people up and getting the funding to send things up as well, not just a fucking satellite every month. You know what I mean? A satellite or some shit. We need to do some stuff. We gotta make space on the regular, and gotta shout out to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos for taking the step, building their own space program and sending people up there. I mean, that's what needs to be done. But we gotta find something new. So I thought of something the other day. I call it the new funeral meta. The new funeral meta. All right. Well, what do we do, right? Let's go over funerals, right? What is it? The Egyptians used to do the fucking mummification, put them in a tomb with a bunch of riches, and and they go to the afterlife after there was like a whole meeting behind it, right? That was a pretty cool funeral for like a high class funeral for the super rich, right? Because you got to think the people that are gonna like for this idea to have this funeral, you got to be super rich, right? It's got to be fucking epic. And what is more epic than having a rocket just blast you off into space? You can get the two package. You can get the affordable option for the masses, where you can get yourself cremated, and then the ashes get put on the rocket ship, and then boom, they get launched out and explode out into space, all over space. So you're just like your ashes are just out there in space, for eternity, is floating around. Or you can have the billionaire, millionaire option, and get yourself a nice little coffin, little space coffin there, and maybe it's airtight. And it's got a jet propulsion system on there, and the coffin goes to the side of the ship, right? And your body's in there when you die. You get launched into space. Everyone's ashes get thrown up for the people that went for the affordable option, and then you got Big Dick Billionaire. Boom! His coffin just launches off the rocket ship. It just flies out into space, and that's it. Jet propulsion goes on the coffin, and boom, you are traveling through space, through the galaxy, for millions of years, unless you fucking hit a comet or an asteroid or, one of the other things that could happen. But I mean, there's a lot of space out there. There's still like, what's that? The satellite that's still going out there with all the music CDs on it and stuff like that. I can't remember what that's called, but it's still going. It hasn't crashed yet. So I mean, there's a lot of space. So it's such a tiny object. Just throw it in the right direction and try not to aim it at a fucking Jupiter or some shit. So you throw it out there. You throw this fucking coffin out there, and it's just floating through space, right? And who knows? Who knows? What's the selling point? Maybe 1,000,000 years, 2,000,000 years go by, and that coffin, maybe it makes it to a planet that another advanced civilization, and it gets the coffin, brings it in, and goes, what the fuck is this thing? It's a body, the body's frozen in there, it's uncaged, frozen in there, and looks in pretty good shape. And they take the brain and they fucking tie it to a computer, and it fucking boom, and then it relives your brain, like something out of a fucking sci-fi movie, right? And boom, 2,000,000 years later, you're resurrected, yeah? For a little bit, and you have your brain up there, Wouldn't that be fucking a nice little surprise? It could happen. You never know. Could happen. Could happen. Or and then the whole point of it is like the funeral. It's a fucking it's a send off. It's an epic send off that you can't beat it. You have a fucking rocket launching your body into space. Everyone's watching the launch. You know, family and friends and like all the strangers watching their families and friends with the people in crematory, and everyone just gets launched into fucking space and watches. A story like a great event to mourn the dead, the people that did this option, and then save some land. To save some graveyard land there, save some water, watering that grass, and all that kind of stuff. So send them into fucking space, and let them blow it out there in space, and travel the amongst the stars. Have an epic freaking send off. Like, what was that Viking funeral? Send them off on a little riverboat, little fucking canoe. Pop, 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 pop. You got someone with a bow, and the fire, and it hits the freaking thing, and it burns, and everyone's like, whoa, the Vikings? That's pretty cool. Viking funerals are pretty fucking cool, right? So, I don't know, we got this thing, we buried them dead, and we like go and play with like shake the guy's hand when he's in the coffin and stuff. You can still do that before the send-off. You can still have a little wake and everything like that. Pay your respects before they go on the fucking rocket ship and send off, I think that would be a thing. I think millionaires and billionaires would want to get themselves, in a coffin, sent out into space. Nobody's been done it before. Do it now. I think people pay big money for that, right? Right. I bet someone pay at least $1 million. I'll drop at least $1 million on that to get that done for the coffin. So the ashes, I don't know. The ashes, make it affordable for everyone. Make it like 50 grand or 100 grand. For 50 grand, people save up. It's the average cost of like probably some other stuff. 50 grand, and you want to make it special, and you get yourself your ashes down into space. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble here, folks. I'm in trouble. Oh, this guy's mean. Oh, he's got me. Oh, I'm dead. Shit. But that's what I'm talking about. The new funeral meta. So, thoughts on the new funeral meta? Do you think this would work? I think that'd be a good idea, And I had this other thought too about. I was thinking about time travel, and like how would we get, not time travel, but like how would we get, if we found a planet, like how would we get somebody from point A to point B? I mean, without traveling at light speed and stuff like that. They would have to like survive the trip, go into some status where they're they're kind of under, but with the whole relativity Einstein thing, some shit like that. Make it work. And I thought about it, the other key. What if the key to traveling through space, making that epic journey, that meta journey, was to be fucking fat? What if you had to be a fat fuck to be able to make the trip and survive it? So like, imagine you're just bound, like you need fat astronauts. You need fat astronauts to travel through space. You need fat astronauts, and nobody's ever done that. No one's thought of that. What you do is you get a guy that's like 500 pounds, beefed him, like give him crispy peas, all this stuff, all this fat on them. And then what if the status of that was just they're like IV hooked up, like they're in the little freaking pod there, they're going in for the long nap type of deal, like an Interstellar, but they're fat. And what all that happens is very slowly over many years, the body just kind of feeds itself through the fat. It eats itself. It survives like a bear hibernating. And that was the long nap, and that's how you do it. Fat fucking astronaut. Because if you have a skinny, fit astronaut, they're done. Like fucking, maybe they last like 10 years, right? But what if you need like a good 100 years to get to where you need to go at your speed? You gotta be a fat fuck because your body has the fuel, just like the fucking bear. That may be the key to the whole thing. How do we get to like another civilization, another planet, as an ecosystem, all that kind of stuff, atmosphere, everything looks good, we can live on it. Fat astronauts. You gotta get fat as fuck. Prepare for the journey, eat like a bear, and boom, blast off. Sent out there, you're in a long nap, body just eats itself, and you wake up, you got all this loose skin and shit, and you just gotta fucking, you go into a little the other machine when you wake up, and cuts all that shit off. Does the fucking staples, pop, 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 and then boom, you're good. You get the loose skin off, and you're basically calculated the journey, how much weight you need to be, how much fat you gotta have, and you gotta hit that target. And then boom, you cut the skin off, so you don't, walk around with like fucking flaps going on, and boom, do what you gotta do and start that civilization. Fat astronauts, you gotta be fat. There's gotta be something about being fat, Like, there's gotta be some key element to getting fat for a human. You know, it just seems like it's in our design. Like we just haven't figured it out yet. It's supposed to be unhealthy, but what if that was the key? You know, you never know. Fuck, we can give this another go here.